Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of Let's Talk Networking. I'm Terry Lee Harrison, and I'm passionate about helping coaches, consultants, and solopreneurs be able to network in the most dynamic and lucrative way. And I have a very special guest today. All my guests are special, but we have some fans of Terry Lee and Chella. And so I don't know if they'll find us today going live, but welcome, Chella. Great to have you here.
It's been a while since we did this, right?
Oh my gosh, that's right. It's been months, actually.
I know it has. It's been really interesting. But you're right. We do have some fans, so I'm sure we're going to get some comments, some questions, some people that are saying we are inspiring them to do something different with their networking.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. So most of you who are connected with me know Chella, but in case you do not, please let me formally introduce you. So Chella Diaz empowers you to raise your prices. She says it's time. You've planted the seeds. Now harvest the fruits. She works with small business owners, coaches, and experts. She's coming to us from Orange County. So Chella,
That is so awesome. I'm so glad you read that because I was like, oh my God, yeah, that is me.
I always love it. I always love it when my intro is like so fabulous. I'm like, who is she, man? Who is she? Yeah. We were trying to think about what we could talk about today because there's so many things that we could chat about. And so I even did a teaser on the post. I don't know if you saw it, Chella. I said, yeah, they have to tune in to see what we're talking about.
That's good. Leave them hanging, right? It's that.
Oh, they're hanging all right. Yeah, they're hanging all right. For sure.
But you're right. We could definitely talk about so many different things because, Terry Lee, we've been doing this since November 2018.
I know it is so hard to imagine that soon it will be the 3-year anniversary, and to watch what has happened in the world of virtual networking, and just where it started and how people didn't get it, and then they all had to try it, and then now I think some of what we're seeing, Chella, really, if you agree, is that now many people have that chance to go back to face-to-face as face-to-face opens up more in their areas. And so people are making choices and their time is limited. Right?
Absolutely. And I think one of the things that I saw with all of our networking that we did in 2020, overall, but 2020 was that I think that people were finding it difficult to really connect online. It was it's almost like a different language, right? When you show up to the networking event, whatever it may be, you have that and you keep showing up and you build. But when you're online, then all you're seeing is the little square. So we see very little body language, right? Unless you're like me and you talk with your hands all the time. Right? But I think that was the most difficult thing is like, how do you build relationships when all you're seeing is each other on the little square?
I do like it that we get a bit more if we're on a Zoom, just with somebody, you get a bit more, but you're right. And then I saw somebody make a post that we've had several of our virtual team members get to meet face to face in the past few days. And so it's been fun to enjoy their posts and say, hey, we want to come and we want to do the things, right? But someone made a comment on one and I was going to be a little snarky, but I didn't. And can you believe that? But no, never. But no, they said,
where's Shauna? Where's Shauna when you need her? Because she'll be cracking up right now.
I know. But the thing is, I wanted to say they put real connections, capital REAL, like when they were there together in the picture. And I thought, okay, it is beautiful to see each other face to face, but that doesn't mean that what we have isn't a real connection.
That's a good point. But actually, I think you should go back and make a point because what is your right? And so now we're delighted to see each other in person because we already had a real connection. Because if you didn't have a real connection to begin with, personally, I would not be meeting with them.
True.
Right?
True. Why would you take the time? True. Okay.
So you already had a real connection. So let's give our viewers and our fans maybe 3 tips on how, and it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter whether you're in person or you're going to be online, but what are some of the things that you can do to build the relationships? And I'm going to start with
Throw it down.
Don't propose marriage on the first date.
Okay. Tell us more. Agreed. Sometimes it's hard though. But Chella, sometimes I'm sitting there in the Zoom with someone, I'm like, oh, right? I was like, oh, this person and what they do. Oh, it's hard. But go ahead. Tell us.
Right. But that doesn't mean that you're going to jump in and buy the program right away.
No.
Right. But that's what I'm saying is the marriage is like, get a chance to know each other. Get a chance to really build. And the more you know the person, the more you're going to be able to refer them. Even if I cannot use a product or service, but you know what I mean? For me to say, oh, Terry Lee, I have this thing and you need it. You know what I mean? I find it insulting a little. Well, I find it insulting. No little about it. How do you know that I want to get rid of my freckles? You know what I mean? What if I like my freckles? Right? Yeah. You don't know the person enough to know that they need your service or your product.
Yeah. Okay. That is so true. So yes, you know where I was thinking when I was like excited when I met someone is like to meet someone who could possibly be a power partner. Like for me, when I'm like, oh, this like could be wonderful, right? But again, you still don't want to marry them on first date. So like this is like part 1, part A and B, right?
It is, but that's a good point, right? Because if they're not clients, they could potentially be power partners, which happens to be teams, one of our secret sauce, right? We talk about power partners and what that looks like. Yep. Not everybody understands it. Not everybody's doing it. So you definitely want to connect with us and know that, but build the relationships, right? And sometimes it may take a couple of times. It may take a couple of coffee dates before we move to the dinner.
It's so true. It's so true.
It's the slow. It's just like, how quickly do we want to do that? People are busy. But then let's say that we find out that we're not a fit. For whatever reason, we're just not a fit. How do you exit that conversation gracefully so that everybody's on the same page? You know, I think that's an art. But we're getting totally sidetracked. So what are some of the things that we could do to? I know, we could talk for days. Well, the power partners, Terry Lee. Let's face it, that's a whole conversation by itself.
Well, it is, and we talked about it yesterday, so we can just like.
Oh, good. See, let's go back and watch the replay.
Yes, we'll watch the replay. So we're talking about building relationships, and so we don't want to marry people on the first date. You know, I do think that it wouldn't be bad to talk about what do you do? How do you gracefully get out of conversation? What do you think?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right? Because, and the best way, and we're going to give you the secret sauce. We have lots and lots of, it's not even a secret sauce, secret ingredients. So V Team has a lot of secret ingredients, but if we know that we're not a fit, I know that we're not a fit. Right? Energetically, we're you know, I don't want to say oil and water because that seems to be opposite, but we're just not a fit. You know, maybe I know other people that do your product or your service, so therefore I already know them, so I'm not, for whatever reason. So it's nobody's fault, but we can always say that, you know what, when I come across somebody that needs your service or product, I'll be happy to send them your way, which is true.
Yes.
Sometimes you just keep them in mind and make those connections.
Yes.
Also offer something up, right? Is there another networking event that you know about that you might be able to refer them to?
Yes.
Do you have a favorite podcast? I mean, we can always give.
Yes.
We can always be of service. Is there a podcast that is there a book that you found incredibly helpful? I think that people really underestimate how much value they can bring in. Well, you have how many books, Terry Lee, that you can?
Oh gosh, over 10, yeah.
Right, right. I think that sometimes we underestimate. So if we know it's like exit, just say, you know what, should I come across somebody that needs your product or service, I'll keep you in mind, which we all will do that. Meantime, this is a podcast that I found helpful. This is a book that really inspired me. You know, this is another networking event that I recommend checking out. So you're providing value. It's all about give.
You know what? I absolutely love that. And sometimes if you all do it or don't do it, there's a way when people are booking in, if you have an online calendar link, to pre-ask questions, right? To get to know the people before. And so sometimes I'll know even coming in, it's probably not my people, right? So I am prepared, yes, to offer them something, to meet them where they are. Like I get, sometimes they have never networked, right, ever, right? And just meet them where they are, send them my free ebook, and you're right. Just we want to be kind and compassionate, because there was a day I didn't know what I was doing also, right? But that doesn't mean we spend an hour with them.
Correct. And that's it, right? Because your time is very precious. Doesn't mean we're rude. Doesn't mean we ignore them. Doesn't mean we don't show up for the call. It just means that we make that call very short. So this is why on my calendar, I have a 20-minute call with me.
Yep. I changed mine to 20 minutes too. It's really good. It's very good. Yes.
And
because
a bonus tip is that when I do that, I allowed myself that 10-minute, because I only book them at 10 and then 10:30. 10 minutes to do the follow-up, if there's anything I need to send them, or to make notes to myself, right? So I give myself that time to make tie those loose ends. And then at the end of the day, for me, this works. I don't want to have 10 things to follow up on at the end of the day.
No, of course not. Of course not. So let's throw down another tip. So another tip in building relationships. So we just had a mixer here today, and like, let's say if somebody met somebody new that they want to connect with, what would you say? We want to take time to build a relationship. We're not going to jump into anything, but what would you say would be the next best thing you'd love to share regarding building that relationship?
Well, and then you had it on the slide, because it's your presentation. But no, we said set the time of when you're going to speak.
Yes.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Today, it was magic. We needed, so let's exchange, calendar links, whatever it is. Or let's say, why don't we talk, but set the date for us to talk. Right? Because now it's a two-way street. You're not wondering if I'm going to call you. I'm not wondering if you're going to call me. We already set a plan in motion. Yes. Let's connect next Friday or whatever.
Yes.
So setting that time to speak to me is important.
Do you know, there's nothing more beautiful, Chella, than leaving an online meeting and going and opening up your email and there's already meetings booked, right? Because how often do we meet people and then it's, I want to talk to you, and then it's not the chase, but kind of like there's that thing that happens, this dance that happens, and suddenly we're not booking the appointment, right? And there's nothing more beautiful than leaving the meeting and having it booked.
It's that, and also people get busy, right? So it's not that they don't want to connect. It's like, okay, when are you available? When are you available? When is your, and also let's not talk about time zone differences, right?
Oh, let's not talk about it.
Let's not talk about that. But that also can play. But what if you're leaving the event and you already have a plan of a date and the time when you're going to talk? To me, that's the best. And because that's going to be the discovery. Are we a fit? How are we a fit? Do we have resources? Do we have the same client? So today, I do have to say, we did have a couple of rooms, breakout rooms, where everybody in the group, 4 people, served the same client. They all did 4 different things, but the ideal client was all the same person.
Ooh. So that was, just magical, right?
It was beautiful.
And did they know what to do with it?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Well, yes. Yes, because they came back into the main room and we talked about it.
Okay.
But
so
yes,
let's talk about that first. Maybe that can be our last main super tip, because it is powerful. Like, what happens if you're not sure what to do with that? What is the best way to proceed? Like, you get into a breakout room, you realize you all serve the same client. There may even be it may be no competition that's obvious, or you might be going, they might be a competitor. Chella, what would you do with that? Like, what would you do with that to maximize that? Because that's a gift happening right there.
Absolutely. I say set up a Zoom call as quickly as possible and find out what service you provide and how, even, Terry Lee, and I know we're taking it even further, but find out, yes, what do we have? Are there any crossovers?
Yep.
And could we possibly put together a webinar for the 4 of us?
Yes.
Right? because we also offer different service to the same person. So that means that helping each other promote that, we're promoting to the same audience. And some people, are, you know what I mean? I'm not saying put a package together. I'm just saying do some kind of collaboration, webinar, some type of workshop to invite people in. Then the people can choose who they're going to work with. What product or services are they in need of right now?
This is so powerful. And it doesn't have to be we get married on the first date. It could be that we invite them as a panel on a live stream and we all chat and we just begin to develop our relationship. So when you have those gifts given to you in the middle of an event, grab the people's names, set a date, even bring everyone all together on the Zoom for further brainstorming, right? You have those magical few moments in that meeting, and how can you maximize it after? Because it's priceless what we can do when we are networking and collaborating with people who share our clients.
Absolutely. So, we take the time to really get to know the people and what they do and how you can best collaborate. Collaboration is the name of the game. Absolutely. Even if you and I do the same thing, I still believe that we'll be able to go out and do a workshop together, because some people are going to resonate with person A, some people are going to resonate with person B. Let's just come together, offer our services, and see. It's a win-win, win-win-win. Win for her, win for everybody involved.
Yeah, sounds so awesome. So, Chella, if people are new meeting you and they would like to find out more about you, where can they find you?
My website is the best way, ChellaDiaz.com. My Facebook page, ChellaDiaz.com. And of course, my LinkedIn, ChellaDiaz.com.
See, she's
very
available
easy.
everywhere.
We made it very easy. And those are the only two that I'm hanging out right now, Facebook and LinkedIn.
Oh, this is a whole other show. So you're not on Instagram right now?
I am. Yes, but yes.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay. I'll say that's a whole other show, everybody.
I keep getting people like friending me on Instagram. So no, people that I've had to block.
Yeah, it's not. Who has time?
Yeah.
We don't have time for that. No. I changed how I was doing my daily activities on LinkedIn, and my amount of spam and marriage proposals and all kinds of things have just completely gone down. My inbox is no longer flooded with junk anymore. I get the occasional hi bye my thing, but yeah, it's been amazing. So yeah.
This is more I was thinking of the marriage, hey bye my thing. We just connected. That's what I'm talking about. Like, we just connected, and then you're saying, hey bye my thing. Or one of the ones that I received is like, are you familiar with, and then they tell me what their service is. How would I be familiar? You know what I mean? It's just like, no, I'm not familiar. And no, I don't want to find out. Because you don't know, right? Yeah. You don't know that that's what I need. You don't know enough about me to know that that's something I may be interested in. That's my whole point.
You don't.
Write it back home. No marriage proposals. No buy my thing. No, you need my service on the first date, folks.
None of it. It's all about, hey, I'd like to get together and see what we might be able to do to help each other, right? And focusing on the people that also serve your same client, starting there is so powerful, right? We don't have all the time in the world to meet all the people.
Just look for those folks that are ready for your product or service.
That's right.
There's the magic.
Well, Chella, thanks for coming on Let's Talk Networking with me today. Today is the day. I've been watching the date. Today's the halfway mark of the 90 days. So so thanks for participating. I should have like cake or a scone or
something.
There's banana bread in the house. That might be it. Might put a candle in it or something. But yes. So
congratulations. That's awesome.
Hey, we're getting there. What a delight to have you here. For those who are following Let's Talk Networking, if you would like to talk about any aspect of your networking that is not working for you, I invite you to book a time to chat with me at bookterrylee.com. I would be so thrilled to help talk you through some of what's happening. If you are interested in what it might be like if we were to work together, I want to invite you to check out All the details at terryleeharrison.com. And if you've not yet visited our extraordinary online global referral community at Team Referral Network Virtual Chapters, our meetings are listed here at VTeam Network, or message me and I would be thrilled to invite you as my guest to visit a chapter. And so as we go to end today, I'm looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Thank you, Chella, for being with us.
It was a pleasure. I'm so delighted we were able to do this.
Me too. Thanks for being here today. Our closing quote for Let's Talk Networking is, when you have figured out what it is that you want to ask for, do it with boldness, confidence, and certainty. So everyone go out and make it a great rest of the day. We'll see you tomorrow.